she gets to a certain level, she's gonna retire me.
Wow.
So if she retires me because she has a higher earning potential, and we can have all things we want, desire, needs, and help others, why can't she give me the softer life?
But it also can apply to the males if you want to lay around the house and have your woman do all the work. That can apply as well.
Welcome to Date, Affirm, The Real. Our live podcast talking about today's relationships and its effects on us all. Please welcome our hosts, Marcus Goodwin and Don aka Junior Lee.
Don, what's going on, brother?
What it do, Marcus? What it do? Happy Thursday. I'm sorry, Thursday.
Tuesday. Get T's right. All right. Yeah. So we back again for another episode. I straightened my shirt up. Should have ironed it, but I don't care. I'm Marcus, Mr. Stay looking good with a wrinkled shirt and everything. Goodwin. And this is my co-host,
Junior Lily.
All right, Don. So we're back for another episode of Data from the Real, our live broadcast that we do every week. Either you and I or our other famous co-hosts, Kia McLean, the poet, and Sharmika, the Dara therapist.
Indeed.
We're here to bring you our version, our opinions, and our real. This is why we call it Data from the Real. These, like I was saying, these are just our opinions. This is how we perceive things. We are an open platform of open communication about our perceptions of love, life, happiness, with dating, relationships, all that good stuff, and healing, moving on, not looking back, breaking the stereotypes through this open dialogue and wonderful communication that we do on this show every week. And on the Date Affirm the Real platform. That means go out and support us on the YouTube channel at Data Affirm the Real. Reach out to us on Instagram at Data Affirm the Real. Go to the website at dataaffirmthereal.com. You get the trend, Data Affirm the Real.
Indeed.
Yeah. So Don, how you doing today, my brother?
Doing pretty good, sir. At the house, so now I got my feet propped up. I'm on the mic, about to lay it down holistically, and we're gonna talk about tonight's topic.
All right, holistically. All right, I'm talking about. I bring the pizzazz, you bring the dialect. God damn, we're gonna get it going. Indeed. All right. So today, Don, before we even get started, I got something to show everybody.
Go ahead. Let's let them know.
I'm gonna go back to it. I want everybody. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it up here for a good while. I want y'all to vote for America's favorite couple. Look at that handsome son gun in the middle with an even more gorgeous lady next to him.
There you go. Beautiful couple in white. Marcus and Kia. So
what we want you to do, go out and go vote for us. We're competing for America's favorite couple. Maybe we'll put the link down in the chat later on several times, I'm sure. Maybe probably even pin it. Also in the top corner, if you have the technology we have now, you can actually go look at the QR code in the top corner. You scan it. You can vote. Now you can vote once today. You can vote again tomorrow. And if you're froggy, you can pay to vote as many times as you want in a 24-hour period. You know, I ain't asking you to, but we'll show appreciate it. But yes, we're not a perfect couple, but we're a perfect couple for us. Take that back. As we talk about what we do and how we run in our household and how we run in our circles, we try to be the most transparent ways we can about how we do things and the success and also the pitfalls that we go through as we navigate our relationship. But at the end of the day, our relationship is successful. I don't know what the opposite of toxic is. I'm gonna say non-toxic.
There you
go. We strive to be the best version of ourselves, not only for ourselves, but for each other. So go vote for us. And if you know another couple who's you think is their favorite couple, don't vote for them. Vote for us. You
Yeah.
know,
Your votes counts. Your votes matter.
yeah.
We're not fixing elections, right?
We ain't right on. We ain't fixing. We actually campaigning. We ain't no ain't no orange over here. The hair ain't no fake hair right here. All right, we'll come back to that a little bit later. But let's talk about today's topic, John.
Yes, sir.
Our today's topic is: can red flags turn green? We constantly say, "Watch out for the red flags." We constantly say it was a red flag. We constantly say it was always there. And these are things. What do we ignore? Are we ignoring them? Are we expecting things to be different? Are we expecting that shit to change? Or, matter of fact, can they change? Or are we misinterpreting red flags? If you feel me? So, do we take a color test when we start dating? You know, a motherfucker could be colorblind. You dig?
He got here looking like a stop sign, red light, green light, stop.
Yeah, right. But then you got them clumsy motherfuckers who trip over the damn sign and keep on going. So we're gonna discuss that today.
Yeah, let's do that because you've already hit on an important subject matter. You're indicating, do people really change, or do situations stay the same? Because couples, when you get to know your person, you know their flaws,
Right on.
you know their shortcomings, you know what they do that brings out the best of them. And is it at times that people fall short of their glory because they just know, because you and I, or the two couples are together, two people are together, that they know each other, that there's no need for them to put on a showcase of how spectacular they are? They take a day off or something, or a week off, or what do you feel about that?
Shit, you is what you is. But yes, I believe people can change.
Mm-hmm.
But that shit come with effort. Change come with effort.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer of you change for who you want to change.
Ooh,
So
that part.
yeah. So now when you break up, because now you saw these red flags, and now you say, "Nah, I ain't mess with you," or "Nah, I can't date you," and you say, but you come back, and but what happens? You get comfortable, you revisit, and now you wondering if this red flag is green. Did the damn stoplight change? No, I'm dead serious because all right,
Yes.
peep
Yes.
game.
Yes.
Me and my baby just talking about a situation with a celebrity last night about they broke up, they get back together, and what they showing you ain't changed. It was might got maybe better at hiding it, but what happened? You hide and go seek, and you saying, "Okay, here I am. You didn't catch me. Now I'm revealing myself again."
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's going down. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's very a unique concept, because if you meet a person and you know who they are, they don't change, and as time goes on, you will hope that both together would mature to something beautiful. You grow together, you grace together. But if the situation is still the same after months and years and requests and asking and one side doing this and the other side trying to play catch up, you're like, okay, that red flag is ain't about to turn green. That stop sign gonna stay red.
Yeah, but at the same time, I just said change
Yeah.
because evolving is change.
Mm-hmm.
I am not the same husband I am when I was in my first marriage.
Oh, you just keep talking along.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Right. You study with me. I love it when the study comes together. So, but yeah, even my wife is not the same woman she was in her first marriage. there are things that she told me about her things she did in her first marriage, I would consider red flags. Like, yo, I can't mess with you, and vice versa. She's like, nah, I can't mess with you. So can the red flags turn colors? Possibility. Or can we misinterpret red? How about, or can we misinterpret red flags? So, well, come on with it. Come on.
It's ignorant bliss. You said we're misinterpreting the red flags. I remember a quote we may have had off air a while back. You said, age doesn't bring wisdom.
Right on.
So if the person is to change, to evolve, when do they make that change? Is it an internal thing, or just to impress the next person because the last person they were with, it didn't work out?
So in my opinion, that's one that deals on the person.
Okay.
A sincere change is actually changing and not trying to regress instead of camouflaging. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A true change or a true change is something that you strive, or a true change is saying I am better, or I'm not the same person I was previously.
Yes.
Just think about this. Things that you, as a man in a marriage, in my previous marriage, I might ask. There's times I held my tongue too many damn times.
Okay.
That is a red flag for future marriage.
I got you.
Why do we need a man? Why should she have a man who don't say shit? I'm still struggle, but I'm trying to change that. Open your freaking mouth.
Yeah.
What's
up, fam?
Right.
Jumping in the comments here.
Somebody in the comments. Where you at? Oh, can we bring the comments? I'm glad you checking because I was in the wrong page. What up, fam? All right. So now, does it show up? There we go. How can I be so okay? A red flag is he's not one to lead the household. I was the most effective leader of a household previously. You know what I'm saying? I could have been more effective. That's on me. That was my contribution to the demise of a previous marriage. I let things go too much. That was on me. And so that could be a red flag, but I changed. Now the same shit that was pulled there doesn't fly here. You see what I'm saying? I can't let fly here.
You're involving, like you said.
Right. So if my wife in her current state met Marcus in that previous state, it'd be like, nah, N-word, you ain't for me. I ain't trying to go there with you. You're a red flag. The way you roll is a red flag.
Yeah.
The way you handle certain situations is a red flag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, change is possible.
Change is possible. Question though.
I'm with you.
Is you said, if you were someone met you in your earlier years or earlier stages, and those red flags, would that be consistent of a pattern, or would it be just consistent pertaining to the person that you met and they noticed that and just wasn't vibing with it?
Ooh.
Because say, for instance, you're a single person, you're dating, you meet one lady and she don't necessarily tell you your red flag. She just said, we're not vibing. Okay, you continue with idiocy and you go on to the next person, and then you wonder why 3-4 down the line you can't connect with anyone. Is that you're ignoring your own intuition? You should be aware of yourself that you are not changing correctly. Something to think about.
The damn sure is.
Because one person can tell you, but if it's a pattern, a continuous pattern, at some point that person needs to self-evaluate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you're right. Because in my previous state, I thought I was the shit.
No,
I thought I was a perfect. I thought I was a perfect dude, a perfect husband. You know what I'm saying?
Popping collars.
Popping collars. Yeah, I'm popping collars on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I ain't turning out nothing.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You're
to be
right.
real.
This definitely makes you think with more perspective because again, that's this wisdom thing. It didn't. I'm not gonna say it came with age, but definitely experience and enlightenment. Sitting within yourself and recognizing the broken pieces within my own self. It helps me to understand better going forward how to project myself in a different light.
Right. So I'm gonna kick it off a little segment or a little speech, not speech. I'm gonna ask a little the
Go ahead.
audience,
Go ahead, sir.
what are some red flags? I know, Floyd out there. Floyd know he's seen red flags in his experience in life. My wife has seen experiences. We all seen experience of red flags. So I'm gonna ask, the world out there in TV land. Give us a couple of examples of red flags that of
Yeah.
when dating or in a relationship, because I want to see if any of these can actually turn green.
Yeah, can they be redeemable? And let me kick it out first until everyone gets their thought together. Anger issues, anger management.
Okay.
Is that a red flag that can be redeemable? Because if a person not checking their ego, can that lead to something irreparable?
Yeah, all right. So let's start with anger. Okay. I think anger, it can be redeemable, but I think it's a red flag because the person can that one turn green? I want to say yes, but the problem is it has to be work.
Mm,
I think the issue is one of the issues. I'm gonna rephrase it. I think one of the issues that we have with that red flag turning green
mhm,
is that the person who's pursuing the person with the anger issues think they're the ones who can magically change that person's anger issues
mm. Wow.
without them trying on their own or seeking professional guidance.
Yes. Yes, that's very important because there could be a trigger event, a trigger word that can cause a person to break out in such anger that the person who's receiving the anger is not fully aware. It could be several variations of what could set this person off, right? You're trying to micromanage one of them, and then the next one goes off because, again, the person needs to check within themselves the anger and what causes it.
And at the end of the day,
We got
and
another
I'm
one
not
here.
I'm
Go ahead.
so no, go ahead. I'm just putting some other comments in here real quick.
Mhm.
If I'm doing it.
Inconsistency is the next red flag. Can that be redeemable? And inconsistency, is that from a lack of personal interest in what they're doing, or is it inconsistency because a person has a attention span that needs to be honed a little bit? Because if a person is ADD, ADHD, their attention span can be all over the place, and therefore they may be looked upon as a lack of inconsistency because they can't focus on one thing at a time. But then bringing that to their presence, that can be redeemable by making them aware and setting up checks and balances so that they can even call upon themselves to be incurring in what they're doing.
So I think the inconsistency she probably referring to is you're not being a consistent partner. You
Okay.
know, doing things like love bombing. Oh,
Okay.
this day let's lovey dovey, and this next day you starting to come home at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
This day let's go. I'm gonna cook and do everything for you, and this next day you ain't doing shit.
Okay.
Those
So
red flags.
those are
Or
definitely red flags.
I'm gonna call you. I'm calling you. I ain't gonna call her. I can call her tomorrow. Inconsistency. Those are red
Mhm.
flags. So can those turn green?
Yeah,
Okay, talk to me.
they can. You have to make the person aware of where they're falling short at. If you're not getting phone calls as a person indicated they're going to call you, then that needs to be pointed out. Uh, your lack of follow through on your commitments is causing an abrasion. So can we discuss?
Right. So it's a red flag, definitely.
Mhm.
For one, do I want to take the time to watch you be trying to turn consistent? Because
That's
I
the
ain't got time for
commitment of a relationship, bro, right?
we're dating.
Yeah, you're dating.
So we're dating, and I see you inconsistent as hell. Now, why would I want to go to be in a relationship with you? You be inconsistent while you was dating. What makes you be more consistent while you in a relationship?
Because that proverbial thought, I can change that.
That dumb shit.
I can work on that.
That dumb shit.
I can redeem them, right?
Hmm.
It is redeemable. That could be fixed. Both sides, not just male and female. It's both sides. I can change that. I'm going to work with that. I see it, but I'm going to work with it, and it festers, right?
That's a red flag in itself.
Yeah.
Trying to change.
Yeah. We got comments here. Another red flag is lack of self-love. That's definitely very important. You got to love self. Selfishness, no accountability, narcissistic, jealous, sneakiness, lack of communication, not listening, always got an opinion, putting everybody else before me, etc.
Damn.
etc. Good point. Floyd.
He went to the red flag book on that.
Yeah, he had a bottle drawer full of that. He's just like rolled out.
Yeah, he had the cheat sheet on red flags.
But those are good points, though. I mean, from a hardcore healing opinion and from spoken visions, these are great points, because there was never a point in time where I can't say I'd never experienced this or was a part of the problem. You know what I mean? I had some selfishness. I had to be called out on it. There's times when I feel like I shouldn't have any accountability, but I had kids, so I had to own up to that, right?
Right.
Jealousness. Some people are jealous. Sometimes I may not be jealous enough, so different things you have to own up within yourself and make those changes, as Marcus said at the beginning.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, you gonna shake your head like you ready for it?
Like what?
All right. So I'm looking at spoken vision. So I'm gonna say, if you're dating, and the person you went on a date with, so you went a couple of times on a date with her, and she's had these jealousy and lack of communication tendencies.
Okay.
Would those be red flags for you?
But she fine though, man.
That's the dumb shit number two. Dumb shit number two.
Fine,
okay,
man. I'm gonna deal with that. I'm gonna deal with that. I can't deal with. But
that's a
you made a
problem.
good point, because in my younger years, that's exactly what I would have said. She fine. I'm gonna deal with that until I can't deal with that. And now that I've gotten wiser, not older, but wiser, it's like I don't want to deal with that. I don't even want to put up with that.
Right.
I don't want to address that, because not saying that person is not capable, but it's like I don't want to put the energy to find out, right, 5 years later, things like that. That's redeemable. That's fixable.
Okay. So could that red flag ever turn green?
Yeah.
How?
Well, I'm going to speak for myself.
That's all you can speak for, bro.
So I'm going to speak for myself. The red flags that I address from my younger years did turn green.
Okay.
And it came about through just self-maturation. You have to understand what you're trying to accomplish in life. You can't get far in life being selfish. You can't get far in life being with no accountability. You can't get far in life being narcissistic. You're going to have to mold with the culture of the society, the world that's around. Even me being an introvert, I have to be some of an extrovertedness to get outside of my comfort zone, to be able to have and enjoy things that life is all about, like having this podcast, mingling with other people of like-mindedness, and seeing what they're doing and how to better myself. I can't go through the world just being a hermit. isolating yourself from greatness.
Mm.
Disappearing is a red flag. Wow. I mean, hitting the ghost on them. Deuce.
Okay, see, you're right. So
What's that? The older you get,
the fine don't
fine
mean
don't
that mean that don't mean
hey,
shit.
but
We'll say fine don't mean as much.
It don't mean as much. But
Your
if
or the
mama
definition.
fine, she fine, right?
Yeah, I won't say the definition of fine is redefined.
There you go. There you go. The way
You
he
know.
spelled it kind of threw me for a leap there. Okay.
You
All
know,
right,
yeah,
Floyd, I see you.
poets.
Yeah. Appreciate that, sir. Put another word in my collaboratory right there. Put it in my vocabulary.
Right. So speaking, okay, we'll speak on fine. Speaking that word about fine for a second.
Yeah.
And we saying looks, because one thing that make you colorblind can possibly make you colorblind. Correct?
That's a good phrase, colorblind. Okay, go ahead.
Right, because you see the flags, but you don't know what color they are because you're ignoring them.
Go ahead.
Right. So now, when you start but these fineness and these flags are starting, the color starts to, how can I say it? Bleed through. These red flags start to bleed through. Because like you know how you paint a wall, if you don't put that primer on it, the previous color comes through the new paint.
Yeah.
Well, that fineness is the new paint. That red flag is the color that was underneath. It's always been there. You just you just covered up.
Okay.
And now it's bleeding through. At this point in time, like, okay, the colors still match. You know what I'm saying? Can I live with this mixture of colors? But the wall is probably ugly as hell because that fineness is bled through with now the areas that red flags is bled through that fine color wall you had. And that new color don't look good.
But check this out. If it's redeemable, as the saying goes, as people get older, they get fine. They age like wine. They get finer. They get even more beautiful with time because they age so gracefully. So, what to say? The ugly duckling became the beautiful swan. Maybe they were in that ugly duckling phase. Okay. You're not buying it? You're not buying it?
No, I ain't buying it.
Okay.
No,
all right. Pop the balloon then, man. Pop the balloon. Yeah. So you don't believe people can progress with beauty as they get older?
I think they can progress as they get now older. But once again, but with a little wisdom.
Okay.
And the proper experience.
There you go.
Because, all right, so just think about now the Instagram fine. Let's take an Instagram fine. Just play, work with me.
Okay.
The Instagram fine.
Right.
They got all these people, 1,000 people. Ooh, girl. Ooh, yeah. Let me fly you here. Let me hear. I just want you to buy. I'm gonna have them buy me this and buy me that. Fly me here.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know what I'm saying? They for me. I ain't worried about that. Now they getting older, but nobody's because this fine and the fine don't necessarily disappear. Nobody's calling them out on their shit. They accepting this shit. So these red flags of people who actually genuinely want to be with you, see, it's like, oh no, because a lot of these other guys who was feeding you this shit was trying to give you something. They were treating you like now I won't say a rental or property. They wasn't out for you, but for your physical beauty.
For satisfaction. They were trying to deal. Yeah.
Right. They trying to hunch.
Okay, Floyd has an opinion here. He says, we ignored it until she starts talking. If she ain't talking about much, the fineness starts fading. Then he comes back and says, I can't agree with that, bro. Beauty is more than skin deep. So if her mentally is jacked, in my mind, she is growing a mustache. I started losing interest. All right, hardcore Hill opinion. But what are some red flags that you all would proceed with if you saw them now?
That's a good question.
That is a good question because I've already dealt with that. I've
Yeah.
already dealt with those red flags that I've saw. So
I'm gonna read it again. So I
and
get like,
proceeded.
what are some red flags that you all would proceed with if you saw them now?
I'm gonna say family dynamics. I'm gonna just say it like that. Family dynamics, because I'm gonna give you just a quick glimpse into my life. When I was younger, I tried to date. I was in my 30s. You know, you fit, you feel like you conquer the world. You know, good speaking game, and I had women tell me that they wouldn't date me because I had younger children. Family dynamics. It didn't crush me to the point that I curled up into a ball, but it made me understand what people are looking for and what they're willing to deal with. Not necessarily that's a red flag, but they're not willing to compromise on what they're looking for. So as I got older, I'm 51 now, still look young, but thank you very much. I look at situations in the family dynamics, because if a lady that I'm dating, she can have kids, she don't have to have kids, but if she have, say for instance, hypothetically, 4 kids and each one got different baby daddies, how's that family dynamic? I'm not saying that it can't be great. I'm going to want to perhaps have a conversation to understand that before I get back into that situation again, because that family dynamic could be a red flag. You may be dealing with some baby daddy issues, some jealousness.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So yeah, that's good. So me personally, this is really hard for me because I'm thinking about red flags right now. You know, some of the ones I probably would deal with now or give it a shot. Like I would do that dumb shit to see if they turn green.
Yeah. That stop sign still red. What's going on?
Yeah, stop sign still red. I would, because I'm still working on being a better communicator, so I would probably try it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one. Self-love. I probably would. That one, I would. I'm on an edge on that one, but that one, because I like to, because especially when you're in that dating phase, you always trying to flatter and accentuate and let them know how wonderful they are, and maybe they didn't receive that from previous relationship, because your previous relationship affects how you could possibly affect how you move into your next one or proceed going to your next, depending on how you handle that in between time.
Yeah.
If you've been torn down before and never received these positive words,
affirmations,
I was going to try to use that, but I was going to see if I was going to use it properly. So,
okay, sir.
Yeah. So those are a couple of, those are, I would try, but I would have to keep in my mind, like, this is try. This is not necessarily accept.
Yeah.
Because this is why we date.
Yeah. Because you could, but let me, not to cut you off, but
No, you cut me off.
So when you saying this is why we date, to discover these red flag potentials, would it then be considered a red flag if you cut bait and run? Not even attempting. I mean, because some people feel like if you don't even try to deal with the difficulties, or what they call, some people don't even want to deal with it at all. Like, to see one half a corner of something red, they cut bait and running. I guess is there a limit to, in the beginning of dating, that you would take then, or is it just a one-time cut thing and I'm out? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I that's a good question. I guess that's a damn good question, because
you gotta try to deal with some type of adversity. I mean, if
right,
you're not even willing to
I
fight with that,
I agree with you.
Yeah, be with somebody long term if you're not even willing to deal with one red flag. But if it's like 10 lined up in a row, like a soccer match, red card.
Yeah, but what if that red flag is a big red flag?
Oh, now you're talking. Because is there such thing as weight or levels to the red flag, right? Because if all sins are equal, how can one be greater than the other? So
Shit.
so you're saying all red flags are not equal, because
Hell
let's talk
no.
about that. Let's clarify what you mean by bigger red flag. What would you consider a bigger red flag compared to a smaller red
If
flag?
we go on a date and we go on a date and she talking reckless off the jump.
Okay.
I mean, and this is because
Okay.
let me preface this.
All right. Go ahead.
My big may be small to another, and my small be big to another.
All right.
But if you're talking reckless to me like that off the jump,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's a cut and run for me. You're like, okay, you gotta know how to talk to. You gotta need to talk to me, and especially if I like, yo, hold on,
Yeah.
and I take a little recklessness.
Yeah.
I might secretly I might like a little recklessness, but it's gotta be some reckless with respect.
You're right.
So disrespect. There we go. Disrespect.
Disrespect. Because I'm
Disrespect is
looking at the list of red flags that Floyd listed earlier, and I'm going to ask this question to Floyd before I chime in. Out of the selfishness, no accountability, narcissistic, jealous, sneakiness, Floyd, which one of those red flags would you consider more weight than the other? Because you have quite a few there. And hardcore healing pen, what would you consider a bigger red flag than one that you may have discussed
Oh,
here?
I could tell you hers, sir. I could tell you hers
Okay,
right
go
now.
ahead.
Shit.
Oh, I'm trying to hear it from the lady
She can
herself.
say her fingers, lying and
Okay.
disrespect.
Okay.
Well, take lying, disrespect, and loyalty. You fuck up any of them three, you gone.
I got you.
Shit. I know my wife. If I'm wrong, she will put it in the chat.
I got you.
Lying, disrespect, and lack and disloyalty.
Okay, so that's very interesting that I'm not debating what you're stating, but I never looked at it as one red flag being outweighing the other. I looked at it as a red flag, as like there is something that's not vibing here, and either address it, don't address it, and deal with it, or compress it, put it in a closet, and hope it don't come back up no more. But yeah, you make a good point here, because what I was talking about earlier, things like family dynamics versus ignorance or per people changing, there could be one that could weigh more than the other,
Right. So I get you, and I'll just think back to my younger days, and I had an incident. I don't know what year this was, maybe '05, maybe. So I met this lady. We was at a blues concert. She was sexy and all, and I got a number, whatever, blah blah blah. Fast forward, a week or so later, she's like, "Yeah, I'm throwing a barbecue, blah blah. Come on down, come on down, hang with me, my brother, my friend." Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah," because blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And me and her brother talking, and we were talking about something. We were talking about this stuff, and he showed me these pictures and stuff. And she didn't like it. She didn't like something. She didn't like it, and she kicked me. I said, "Oh, wow." She kicked me. Matter of fact, we were looking. He was showing me some naked pictures of some girl. Okay, she kicked me.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm wrong for that. I acknowledge that. But you kicked me. This is our first. This is actually our second meeting. Yeah, we might have talked on the phone, but this is our second meeting. If that bothered you that much, and your first reaction was to actually do something physical, I was gone. That was the last time I ever spoke to her. I smiled, I kikied because I'm in her neck of the woods, I'm in her house area and everything. I'm not starting no fight. Once I got a chance to dip, I dipped. I was gone. Never spoke to her again.
There you go, sir. Now I got you where you're coming from. That's totally understandable, and you did the right thing.
Yeah.
No one should have to be subject to violence at another person's anger manner.
Right. So now let's think about it. Now, if I was to my turn, I said she was fine. She got to be fine with a name like Cookie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody's trying to get a piece of that cookie.
Right. So
head in the cookie jar.
If I was imagine me trying to turn that green, like I'm like, hey, don't be kicking me. And now I'm still trying to work toward that and do all this other stuff. Because in her mind, That's a normal reaction.
Yeah.
Now, imagine we doing fast forward, and that's normal reaction. Everybody got a pushing point. What? What could happen? What if I put my hands back on her? If I
You
kick
in
her back,
trouble. You in trouble.
I'm in trouble. But this is a back and forth that's not healthy.
That's not. That's the toxicity at the beginning.
Right. Or if me trying to change, hey, you can't be kicking everybody.
Yeah.
Stop kicking me. Or stop hitting me. You ain't gonna be hitting everybody. You can't every time you get mad, keep hitting me. Every time you do it again. Like, stop hitting me, woman.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That's not good. That's not healthy.
That's not healthy.
That's not healthy.
How many times you got kicked before you realize that flag ain't that shit ain't you ain't turning no from red to green? I don't care how much shit. Sometimes you can't put enough bleach on a red flag to turn that motherfucker colors.
You cannot. Those are bright red flags. And Floyd followed up, said the things he listed are equal to him now because he have more years behind him than in front. And if you are affected by blood pressure in a bad way, you got to go. You affect his blood pressure. Yeah. So he said, you got to go.
Right.
Ain't got time for that. Yeah. We trying to live peaceful life.
Keep going. Right. I'm gonna put these comments up on this.
Hardcore Healing Pen says she's gonna kick her. You know what?
That's my baby. Hey, see, that's one thing. One thing I love about my wife.
Yeah.
She will defend me before I defend myself.
There you go, sir. That's what you want. Somebody in your corner like that.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa come out swinging.
Yeah. And she ain't going down.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's what you want.
Yeah. So these are the things. And now this is what I'm saying. I think certain flags probably can turn green.
Yeah.
But some things may never turn green without the other person. And why are we wasting time trying to change somebody who ain't trying to be changed?
How do you know they don't want to be changed unless they tell you from the first conversation? Because we always seek the good in people, right? We want to understand that they are capable of redemption. They are capable of changing. That's why we always give people chances. That's why we continue to support people in their darkest times. So you bring up a good point. I can't say what is right or what is wrong, but we always want to give the person the benefit of the doubt.
But then how can we get mad when the shit don't work out? I should have seen it, or I noticed this and I ignored them. How we gonna be feeling bad when you wasted 15 years of your life?
You make a good point, because that's the first thing we usually say after a relationship doesn't work out. I'd wasted 10 years. I feel now, reflecting back, we have to get out of that mindset. It's not a wasted time, because if you sit there for 15 years and you know these red flags ain't changing, you might want to cut that down to 7, 3, 4 months and get out of there because it's not happening. But if you sat there for 15 years, you were just as equivalent putting into that and seeing the outcome because you thought the person's going to change, or maybe there were some good times that make you forget about the bad. But I'm personally myself is trying to get out of that mindset of saying I wasted X amount of years because I was co-partner in that time frame that passed.
So in other words, use a red flag with it.
I never said I was draped in green, but but I'm working on it. I'm redeemable, right?
Yeah.
If you put a red flag in front of me, I'm gonna do like a bull and just charge it. Yeah. A matador. There you go. Yeah.
Well, but what about this? What if you think what was a red flag? It's not a red flag. Maybe you're not judging the color. You're not judging the color right.
You said colorblind.
Yeah, but it's really you think what if you think it's red, but it's not really red?
Okay, tell me. Explain.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Go ahead, sir.
That I have come to realize.
Okay.
About me being, in some women's eyes, a red flag. As wonderful, as magnificent a person I am, I'm just patting my own self on the back. And I didn't realize this I wasn't the best dresser. Well, I did know. I
That's a
did realize.
red
I
flag?
did realize it. I'm
That's a
lying. I
red
did
flag.
realize I wasn't the best dresser. But a lot of women would consider me a red flag because I couldn't put certain colors together. I
Mm,
am a person who wear a lot of neutral colors because
okay.
I don't match colors or I'm not big on fashion with sneakers or this and that. You
Okay.
know, but I wouldn't consider a red flag.
We have two women here online. Hardcore Healing Pin and Picture
Uh,
Me MK.
yeah.
Is that a red flag?
So
A man coming in looking like
you
Dusty?
can't well women you can't ask hardcore healing pain coach. That shit don't count for her. We already know that.
Hey, bro, you still got to come with it. You can't be putting anything on, man.
So no, but even when I put something on, now I'm not saying dusty. I'm saying because it doesn't have a lot of flair,
Flair such as
pizzazz,
a
or
red suit, or you just
no, I ain't
wearing a
wearing no
bland
zoot.
shirt.
I may wear a black shirt. It may have no designs, nothing on it.
Okay,
It may be a
so you're
button
not
down with it.
stepping out in Tommy Hilfiger and Gucci and all that Versace. That's not
Right.
your style. Okay.
Shit, to me, I could find me a good ass outfit at Burlington. You know,
There you
I
go.
was a Burlington shopper because shit. Oh, that's a nice shirt. It fit, and I could dress for less.
I think that's Ross, sir. You get your stores. You get your stores across.
Well,
You
you
up in
right.
Ross. Luckily, you look good luck trying to find something in Ross, a pair of socks or anything.
Yeah, because Ross ain't got nan bit in my size. But yeah, MK, tell me about if
Yeah,
you it is how did their level of dressing is a
yeah,
flag or not for you.
yeah. Do
But
you like a man who comes in with a little pizzazz and got on a Tom Ford suit, or he just coming out of Burlington with something off the rack? You know what I mean?
yeah, see, and to me, Tom Ford is a car.
Okay,
It's a car company.
okay.
So that's how I look at that one. So, but my wife says, okay, one of the things like, okay, he has other qualities that's great.
Yeah. I
You
would never
know,
thought that was a red flag. That's an interesting way to look at it, though.
and what she said was, oh, I could fix that. Or I wouldn't say fix it, but I can work with that.
I can buy him clothes.
Right. Because she do. Oh, because
Nice.
she's like, okay, I know what make look. I want my man to look good. I
It's
know
not a
how to
red
make my
flag.
man look good.
There you
And
go.
if he's willing to work with me, but this is the other quality though. Willing
Mhm.
to work with you.
Yeah.
That's a quality. That's a green
Yeah.
flag. If
Yeah.
because I'm be willing to work with her and accept that she's now like buying the clothes, say, hey, I would like for you to wear this.
Mhm.
Okay. You know,
Yeah. Don't put it any resentment or anger issues as saying she's trying to be controlling or authoritative. She just wants to make sure that you both look good when you walk out of the house. I would appreciate that from my lady, making sure I'm dressed right appropriately. My shirt is ironed. You know what I mean? My socks match. Got a belt on.
yeah. All right, so like socks is great. So check this out. Hold on, what she said. I can change that and I have. Yes, you have, babe. You might be creating. She might be creating a monster. Don't need name brand, just well put together. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
That's
the
cool.
socks thing, man, I had like two color socks, white and black. What the fuck? What the what?
You need some variety, man. You gotta get a
I don't know
little
how, man.
plump.
What do I
Wait
put
a minute.
light blue socks with or tan
You got a
socks
light
with?
blue shirt, right? You got a little no.
Well, people got designs on that. I don't know.
Come on,
What is
man.
it?
Carpet gotta match the drapes, man. Come on.
Shit, black match everything.
Well, you ain't wrong with that, yo. They
So
don't black, right? Black is beautiful.
yeah,
Black
I'm talking about. I got Wakanda socks.
they change colors, just everything is black.
But these are like so. Those that's just a minor. That's just an example of what people might perceive.
Yeah.
How about this? Because they don't drive a late model car.
Mm. Is that
Is that a red?
financially being frugal? Is that a red flag?
Exactly, is based on that person perception.
Mm.
Like my car is a 2012 Chevy Equinox that burn oil. But am I back?
Hey man,
But we
that's
got
not. That's not. That's not.
what the home. We have a nice home. I say
Yeah.
we have nice and comfortable.
Yeah.
We got food. We do well.
Those are green flags that outweigh that one thing that you may consider a red flag.
Right. So judging somebody by their vehicle, I mean, I think my opinion is even men do that.
What do you mean? Clarify.
I see men to mine. Why would I talk to her? Her car ragged as hell. I mean, she ain't got nothing.
So if you drive a 2002 Nissan Altima with dented doors, you say you, but she fine though, man.
Yeah, you fine, but guess what?
She stay in the hood, but she fine.
This is the mindset.
Yeah,
we gonna
right.
say she needy.
Ooh.
She can't afford a car. She I don't know. Can she? No, my question is she working? I need support. Do I got to support her? And we just dating?
I'll be asking for what's your address? Where you live? Let me Google this. Okay, no, I ain't going over there.
What you see? But to me, in hindsight, but guess
balance.
what? But what if she going to school and she's paying for her own education? And she's like, okay, I'm going to be, let's just say a lawyer, whatever. I'm just going to still a doctor or something, right? Now I choose not to get a car note or something like that because I don't want to leave school with extra bills.
Physical responsibility. But to get to that point, to understand that, you got to have the conversation, you got to have the discussions, and you probably have more than one date. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I would even consider a red flag if if someone I'm trying to meet and get to know is telling me all this on the first date, because I don't want the first date to be a date. I want it to be just a conversation amongst adults where we are just filling out each other on a vibe. Like a date can be something you want to go to the movies, you want to go to dinner, but I don't think the first meet should be like, well, I'm driving this Nissan Altima because I'm saving up for college and trying to become a doctor. On the first 5 minutes,
why not?
Because that's a red flag. You're telling me too much. Let's get to know that over time. I don't want to know it all in the first 5. This is not an interview. I'm not hiring you for a job. I don't need to know all that.
No, say I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. If you doing something like that, toot your horn. That's something to be proud of. That's something that now maybe I don't want to date a woman whose time may be short because she's going to school and working and doing this and may not have time for me. Why should if she says she only got but such time and she say, hey, I may not give you but this much time in a week, why should I waste time on and buying a meal? And she got another 4 years of school of this. No, tell me that. Or let me toot your horn. So, go ahead, sis. I'm talking about. I'll support. I'm a supporter. Yeah. Do your thing. Okay, I understand. Yeah, no. Matter of fact, we can work out time frames. I can sit and watch TV on my phone or anything while you study. I just want to be in your presence.
Oh. Now you're talking about something. Now you're talking about a relationship. That's beautiful.
But yeah, but this was something you can. But in the first 5 minutes, if you're a male who needs a lot of time, she's probably gonna be one for you at this moment in her life. Maybe down the line when she's established her career, you can revisit if she's still available, or if you're still available. If by the time she even remember you.
Ooh, man.
And if you ain't progressed or elevated yourself, it's kind of jack to say, but you may not be up to her standards at that moment.
Exactly. Yeah, you get left behind.
So that red flag can be not a red flag. That all depends on the person and the perception.
There you go. Well said, sir. Well said.
No. So, but the red flags turning green, I think the biggest problem trying to turn a red flag going from red to green is the trick of your own self thinking you are the yellow that make it from red to green. That you have the ability to change the person that you feel
Yeah.
or are attracted to. You know what I'm saying? That you think is a catch. Oh, he's a well-off person, or she's a well-off person. She got money. Oh, I think she, oh yeah, I can change her. Or I can change him. Oh, I know. Yeah, he got on the women, but I can be around, or she got on the men. But once I get around, get talking to her, this is what a dude say. I'll put that dick on her. She'll be she ain't going nowhere once I put that dick on her. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to call her a hoe, but if she like being promiscuous, let her be promiscuous. That's not a red flag. That's a red flag.
You bring up a good point there.
Well, I should say, I take it back. I don't want to say promiscuous. I'm gonna say cheater.
Isn't that promiscuous?
Well, if you're just if you're not in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, it ain't cheating, is it?
Yeah, but think about this. I'm just mellowing with what you just said. If a person is with someone and they're comfortable with their partner's, I'm not gonna say red flags, they're comfortable with their partner's dynamic may be, and they're not seeking to change it, is that acceptable? I'm not gonna say it's a red flag. It's just a dynamic. Like a person may be good at, your woman may be good at changing the oil in the car. You may be good at ironing clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And other people see that, say, "Why are you not out there changing the oil in the car?" But you're like, "Hey, I'm cool with it, right? I'm accepting of her dynamics, and she's accepting of mine, and that's how we make it work."
Yeah. So one person red flag may not be another red flag. A person's red flag. Ultimately. So in your opinion, we're gonna try to wrap it down. So I'm gonna ask you this, Don. After today's episode, can all red flags turn green? Or can a red flag?
Not all. You could probably chisel away at one or two, but you understanding the person, you almost have to be accepting of who they are. It's not necessarily a flag. To me, I'm looking at it as a dynamic. I'm looking at who they are. I have to be accepting of what makes them, what their abilities and capabilities are. So when a person is dropping, I'm picking up, and vice versa.
Right. So, in my opinion, as we start closing this, oh shit, hold on.
Okay.
Before we start closing, I start closing it out. I think the red flags can turn green in a lot of cases, in majority of cases, is as long as it's the person who is the flag is doing the changing.
The flag holder, the flag bearer?
The flag bearer.
Okay. There we go.
And please, everybody, go out and vote.
Vote for America's favorite couple.
The America's favorite couple.
The America's favorite couple. I'm sorry about that, sir.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So as you go out and vote, while you got your phone out and voting, go ahead, subscribe, share, like these videos.
Comment.
Tell everybody, come on in. Exactly. Lean in, listen to the conversation. Take the nuggets out. Take a couple of nuggets out with you, put in your pocket, share them.
Yeah.
With that being said, next week the ladies go back at it, bringing a vibe. I think right now these ladies out, when you see them next week, they bring the funk, the healing, and the wisdom.
Yes.
Please, I want you to tune into them, because if you don't get out there and leave with something they said, you wasn't listening. That's just my opinion.
So for the people in the back, I don't think they were listening, sir.
If you don't leave with something profound when listening to them ladies, you wasn't listening.
There we go. And there's a link. America's Favorite Couple.org 2025. Marcus
Right
again.
Come on, we're gonna bring us home.
He is Marcus. I am Don Jr. Lilly.
And
Peace.
and we out this piece.